So body gets healthier, cells can stay hydrated far better, and blood pressure starts to normalize. Again, that's going off of the assumption that you're doing your very best with implementing the food recommendations that we recommend along the way. And are, doing your very best to move away from the high palatable, hyper palatable, excuse me, very addictive processed foods that are out there, which aren't really considered food, right? If they can sit on a shelf for years and years and years, they're not likely to be able to cause our bodies to thrive. So that's a good kind of litmus test to be like, you know, is this really truly food or is it a man-made chemical? And if it's coming safe litmus test there is if it's produced by the earth, it's likely going to allow for your cells to thrive. So whether that be a fruit, a vegetable, right? Sometimes people get confused in really focusing on their carbs and those sorts of things. But if that stresses you out, just focus on whole foods. And then your practitioner can help guide you, especially if you have A1C and blood sugar dysregulation to start. They can help guide you if necessary. But the real challenge is just focusing on whole foods to start and not worrying about what those foods are. Have a sweet potato and those sorts of things. Again, if you have A1C and you're kind of down the road a little bit and being a little bit more aware of how that impacts your body, excellent. But if you're just starting off and you feel overwhelmed with like, what's this carb and that carb, just eat whole foods. And then your practitioner will help kind of, get you to that point where you're more and more aware of how those specific carbs are impacting your body. When you're in here, when you're in this community, you've got this information and you've got these experts right there at your fingertips. I want to have you guys all just kind of take a deep breath, because if you're doing something that we're asking you to do, like, you implement to the best of your ability and then you find out how your body responds, right? Will it be an immediate response? No. But if it's done over time, then the practitioners can reiterate, okay, this is normal, this is not normal, this is normal, this is not normal. But what's normal in this community, and if you're sitting here today and are listening to the recording, is for the body to improve and to optimize. So I want you to always remember that, even if you're in a challenging, what we call a valley, you're not feeling so great. Over time, what takes place is the body begins to normalize and optimize.